Broadcasting from the basement of La Penta, it's WICR.
Good evening, we're back here live. We're going to go over now the MLB AL wildcard game as we promised just before. Tonight is as we said, the first playoff game in the MLB. We got the Kansas City Royals taking on the Oakland Athletics. This game will have KC home in Kauffman Stadium. And tonight it's looking like there's going to be a little bit of rain down there in Kansas City. 70% chance of thunderstorms. And we see that in the playoffs, the weather is a huge factor in the playoffs. It's not like you're playing in regular June, July, or summery weather where you ain't have to worry about heat and stuff. It comes into cold and rainy effects now, as you're going to start to see. So, Gio, give us a little, what do you feel about the significance of weather in the playoffs?
Yeah, Vinny, definitely. Weather is going to play a huge part as we move into the month of October. We already see that generally when we have teams playing in rain just during, even the spring and summer. Rain it does affect people. First of all, it's getting in the batters' faces. It's getting all over the pitchers' hands and arms. They have to grip the ball. It's going to be hard to do that. It's going to be a little trickier to field as well as in the outfield. You're running around on wet grass. But it just adds a whole nother level when you have the intensity of a playoff game. These two teams are going to fight just to get into the postseason. It's a wild card game. It's a just win it or go home. So they have to go, even with this weather, if it's going to be that bad as they say, they'll probably have to either delay it or move it. But just having these weather conditions, and don't forget the temperature's going to get colder as the postseason goes on. It's going to definitely affect the players and how comfortable that they are in the batter's box fielding and even on the pitcher's mound. So we're going to have to see, exactly how they take it, but it definitely does affect them.
Right, I agree. This is going to be a serious game tonight. One or done matchup down there in Kansas City. You got two veteran pitchers on the mound for KC, James Shields, and then on the left-handed side of the club, you got Oakland with John Lester. These are two veteran pitchers that have seen the postseason before. They're very experienced. Shields went 14-8 with a 3.21 ERA in the regular season versus Lester going 16-11 with a 2.46 ERA. These guys, they were pretty solid this year for their clubs. I can't lie. Would you want these two guys pitching this first game, one or done? I mean, this is a big game. For a coach to call on a pitcher for this game, you got to really have tremendous confidence in the pitcher. And being that if they win it, they can move on, but if they lose, they're going home right away. So tell us a little bit about the pitching in this game.
All right, so when you look at it, as you mentioned, you already introduced, we have James Shields, and then we have a left-hander in John Lester. I just want to, touch on the away team real quick. John Lester, we see him usually in a Boston Red Sox uniform, a longtime Red Sox. He is, I think, ready for this postseason, as well as James Shields. But, both these two guys are the aces of their team right now. John Lester had a really good year. Underrated, maybe under the radar, as I should say. He's a solid pitcher. He'll always get you deep into games usually. And you look at his story, he's come back from a lot, and he's pitching in a playoff game, and I think that's who Oakland would want to pitch. But then again, Oakland has so many pitchers. They have Jeff Samardzija. They have a lot of people that can pitch these type of games. But John Lester is a good fit for them. And then you look at James Shields. He is definitely the Royals' ace. Look at how long they haven't been in the playoffs. I think it was since 1985. This is their first postseason game since 1985 that they're hosting. It's definitely big, and I think that's the pitcher that they want to start for them. They're veterans, as you said, and so hopefully that, this game might be close. You never know.
Right, absolutely. As you said, James Shields, acquired by the Royals 2 years ago from the Rays. Yeah. Interesting quote, actually, from him I read up on. And I quote from him, "I knew that this city's been wanting a championship team for a long time, and a playoff team. Hopefully we did the city proud. We've got a long way to go still, but we're going to keep grinding." Now, what can you say about that quote right there from the pitcher that's going to be on the mound tonight and in his hometown, in his team's hometown? What can you say about that?
Right, when you look at the quote, it's basically the perfect attitude that you want from a pitcher or just any ball player on that team. he's saying that the expectations might be a little big for the city and for their home crowd, because they haven't been there in so long. It's been almost 30 years that they haven't been in the playoffs or hosted a postseason game. So it's definitely an attitude that you want. He's already, not assuming that they're going to win. He's taking it step by step. He's not promising anything, but it's a positive attitude because he knows that the team is going to have to grind. They're going to have to grind to win this game. Oakland, maybe they've been in a slump lately, but like towards the end of the season, but it's still going to be a very, very tough game for Kansas City, and it's going to be a close game. So I think knowing the city's expectations, but as well as keeping a positive and optimistic attitude at this is probably a great thing that you would want from your starting pitcher tonight.
Right, a very confident pitcher gets you good things done there. As you said before, also Kansas City, this will be their first postseason game that they've hosted since 1985, and in that year, in that October journey, that year was the only year they won the World Series. In their 59 years of franchise history, in baseball being played in Kansas City, that was the only year that they ever won the World Series. So
Wow.
you think about it.
Crazy.
Since 1985, they're coming back to the postseason now. You never know what could happen. Maybe they'll just do it again. Also, to determine of this matchup, we have the Los Angeles Angels waiting on hand for the AL Division Series. That'll be taking place on Thursday. I'll be sure that the Angels are definitely watching this game tonight very closely. And, you look at this game also. Oakland is no stranger to the road during the playoffs. For more than a decade, they've been the visiting team, generally speaking, within the playoffs. And, these players, they have experience on Oakland.
Yeah.
We can see how do you think this is going to affect Kansas City going into this game, with the fact that this is their first postseason game, and also you're also playing a team that's used to the road in the playoffs, so they're keeping all this in mind. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely having a lot of confidence on the road is a big thing for any playoff team, especially coming to the postseason. But I think Kansas City might be, maybe there's some jitters because since it's been so long since our last playoff game, that means that the players on this team probably haven't had too much playoff experience. We've seen Shields probably with the Rays, obviously. He's been a top pitcher for a while, or, a good solid pitcher, so he's had some experience. John Lester with the Red Sox, like I said, they won a World Series, so he knows what it's about. But yeah, I think, having some experience for Oakland is definitely an advantage because they're going to know they have guys on their team that can help the younger guys just get ready, get into a positive mindset, get into the right mindset to get ready for a road game. And Kansas City, while they might be a little bit inexperienced compared to Oakland, the home crowd is probably going to, boost their confidence, boost their morale, and try to guide them to a win. So I definitely can see that.
Right. Some of these guys on the team, you can joke about this, but I bet you it's true. Some of them on the team, this will pertain to them, that they haven't even been alive since the last time Kansas City was in the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely.
So interesting to see that there. And as we're talking about Leicester now, on the other hand of the club, Leicester owns probably one of the most impressive resumes in the postseason. He's 6-4 with a 2.11 ERA and 11 starts, including 2 relief appearances. That also includes 2 starts in the World Series last year, which he only allowed 1 run in 15 1/3 innings. So give me a little insight on that. That's a big stat right there to keep in mind during this game.
Yeah, I definitely think you're right. He's one of the more under-the-radar pitchers, like I mentioned before. But even in the postseason, maybe when you look at him, the 6-4 record will, maybe misguide him a little bit, misguide people when they look at that stat because they're saying, oh, well, he only has 2 more wins. But when you look at the ERA, 2.11, he's only allowing 2 to 3 runs a game. The earned run average is great in 11 starts. He keeps his team in the ball game, and he even came out in relief appearances. So when you go back to last year and you look at the World Series, he only allowed, like you said, 1 run in 15 1/3 innings. That's almost 8 innings per game, and 1 run. That's all you need from a pitcher. You want him to shut down the other team. So if he can, do that last year, he could probably do it again this year. And he's had a great season all year round. Again, maybe his record will not show that because of the amount of losses, but then again, he hasn't had a lot of run support in some games. So I definitely think having a veteran just like John Lester on this team and going into tonight on your first game is probably going to be great for them.
Right, I agree. Interesting fact also in this series within the regular season. The Royals took the season series this year, 5-2. All 7 games were played within the first 2 weeks of August. This was right after, I believe, John Lester just got traded with the whole Cespedes trade and everything. This was right when he just came to the Athletics. And the Royals took this series 5-2. That's a big thing to note going into the playoffs. So my final question, who are you taking for tonight in the AL wild card?
Man, Vinny, this one is a hard one. I'm going to go and be a little harsh and pick the Athletics to actually win this over the home team. I just feel like even with that stat, the season series being in the Royals' favor, I just think that Lester might be the better pitcher tonight. No matter what, though, I'm going to say this. It's going to be a close game. I think it's not going to be, a blowout where there's going to be 10 runs for each team. Maybe, each team could score 4 or 5 runs, but I might be even closer than that. But I'm going to take the Athletics. I just feel like they're going to end the dream. They're going to end the very quick realization that, it's a wild card game. It's one or done. So I'm taking the Athletics. Who are you taking?
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I think I'm going to go with Oakland as well. 2 veteran pitchers on the mound, but however, I really feel that Oakland can get this done on the road. I got my back behind Lester. He can definitely get stuff done over there. And, hopefully he'll prove us right. So good luck to both teams playing in there tonight. And congratulations on Kansas City actually being back in the playoffs for their first postseason, hosting their first postseason game since 1985. We're going to take a short break, but coming back, we're going to get you with the NL wildcard game also, the other side of the league. And that's coming on for tomorrow, so we're going to get you fully covered for that for tomorrow as well. We'll take a short break. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Thank you.
Surprise!